Everything snakes in and around each other, and it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Is it like electricity?
It's electric. Oh, the synaptic cleft is beyond. It's fabulous how that works. How thought, movement, everything in our brain works it's a combination of electricity and chemistry. Yeah, it's really cool. What happens is
you should have seen the look on my face.
Yep.
I was baffled.
It's totally cool. As your what we call an action potential happens in your axon, and it heads down to your synaptic cleft, to your button. Well, what happens is that's an electrical. When it gets to the synaptic to the button there, when it gets down there to your synapse, it changes into chemistry, and the chemicals go across the synaptic cleft and are into the neuro. It's a neurotransmitter. They become electricity becomes a neurotransmitter that then goes across this cleft, and then comes, once it is absorbed back in by the receptors, it becomes electricity again. Yeah, is that some cool shit or what? Is that not awesome or
That's
what?
So, I mean,
yeah,
she's speaking way above anything that I the words are pretty, and
nah, you'll see. Check it out. You can actually see this in real time in YouTube.
Oh wow!
There's
okay.
footage of this stuff on YouTube. You can actually see two neurons make a new connection. There's footage of this stuff on YouTube.
Wow, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. This stuff is really, a lot of my work is based on, my work is based on the things that the science and the...
What, you were telling me a little bit about the degrees that you have.
I got a bachelor in science and psychology with special studies in neurology and behavior. And I'm currently working on a master's degree in marriage and family therapy.
Wow. And are you a full-time artist? Mm-hmm. Or?
Yeah, as well.
That's incredible.
It's just that there's two things. Art is expensive, and two, we got to give back.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cool things most people don't realize is student loans are not the trap people really think they are. Because ultimately, as the government is finding out, they'll bloody well take what I give them. And that's it. And you can get that in writing. They'll if you're firm enough on it, they'll take exactly what you give them. You fill out the papers, you do the forms, and eventually, and doing what I'm doing, if you work in public service, after 10 years, they'll forgive those loans.
Wow.
You know, you can get your payments to your income, and you can get the loans forgiven after a certain amount of time. So why not? Art's an expensive mistress.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, some of this glass costs, this glass is costly. Mm-hmm. And truthfully, my firstborn would object if I tried to give her away for some of this glass. Mm-hmm. She'd get mad. She's big enough to be mad.
Let's, you have some more pieces over here. We haven't even touched on any of the encaustics yet.
Yeah, we've got just
all right,
a couple of those.
There's some more of the pieces of the faces over here.
Let me flip this light on. There we go.
All right, there you go. You can see some of the clay casts of the... Oh, those aren't casts. They're like, those are the first molds.
Starts. Yep, those are our start, our positive. That's where I start. And then we've got some of these here.
This piece here is in a hallway, so I'm going to show it as best as I can. Tell me a little bit about this piece.
This piece is called Dementia, and this is an encaustic with shellac. That's the black. And these black spots, the big parts here, are the floorboards of a 1958 Cadillac Fleetwood hearse. Because these are the death of memory. This is what happens when Alzheimer's eats the brain away. These are the memories that are gone. The children, the wife, the husband, these are the things that are gone. These are the memories that it eats away. As you can see, the memory here is eating and ruptured and being destroyed.
And she's told me a number of times, most of her work you can paint, not the oil painting. I'm sorry, you can touch.
Yeah.
Not the oil paintings, but the encaustics and the glass pieces. They're all made so you can touch and feel them, it just adds another level.
Exactly. I want it to be a tactile Because we humans aren't just visual.
No, definitely
We like
not
to
just
touch
visual.
Yeah, we can't touch these because they leaves fingerprints. And you can always be sure there's some kid that's got sticky jelly fingers. Hey, you. I'm coming in to look at the costume. These are my puppies.
So cute. Say hi, puppies.
That is,
Hi.
the big one is Riley, and the little one is Springy.
Hi, Springy. Hi.
They're friendly
Hi,
as can
Riley.
be.
They sure
they're
are.
too friendly. That's why they're back here with their dad. And this is the other encaustic here. This is called Dream and Echo. And as you can see, encaustic, it's the medium for rendering nudes, if you ask me.
You said that you think that you can get more out of the encaustics than even oil paintings.
I think so. I think that encaustic, when you look at this close up, right in here and all, when you look at this, the flesh, how you can render flesh with encaustic is just vastly. You literally are layer upon layer of transparency. You're literally laying pigment in transparent layers, one layer on top of the other. So you get a transparency.
I love this piece, but
Yeah.
I love nudes. I
do
love
too.
this piece.
I do too. And I will say all the nudes that I do, I don't do skinny ones. I prefer them to be real, with the lumps and the bumps and the way that we women really are.
Mm-hmm.
Not those silly photoshopped.
Silly models.
Yeah, exactly. And when you see those models out of Photoshop, you don't recognize them because they're shorter and they're rounder. They're still pretty, but they're not they're not this hyper sexualized image.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and besides, to be perfectly frank, years ago I did a focus group with some men on what they thought about the ideal woman's figure was, and I will never forget. I almost fell over laughing. One fella tells me, and he says with this big grin from ear to ear, I said, so what do you think is the ideal woman? And he says, well, the ideal woman, he says, she got fine, fat thighs. He says, like that Beyonce. He says, fine, fat thighs. And he holds his hands up like this. I just had to chuckle. All I could think about was,
puppy.
I kept thinking to myself, fine, fat thighs. I kept thinking of like chicken thighs. But it's amazing to me. A lot of men are not as interested in that breakup, that model that looks like she would break if you breathe on her too hard. We women do a lot of that to ourselves. We really do. I think a lot of the anorexia and all that stuff is a lot of it's control, but a lot of it is also what we women do to our own selves. When you men will pretty much really would prefer someone who didn't bring the curling iron camping.
Where can people go to buy your artwork?
These days, I have some work at L. Allen Arts. He's a gallery here in Portland. Larry is, I can't remember the address right now, but he has a website, L. Allen Arts. I have my own website. I am self-representing a lot of my stuff at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a relationship with the gallery for a good couple years, but he closed in order to go move on for his own work, which you can't blame a person. So now I'm basically, I've been putting out feelers here and there looking for representation.
Do you have a website?
I do. ColleenPatriciaWilliams.com.
ColleenPatriciaWilliams.com. You should check it out. Really, amazing stuff. So we are having a gallery in our home on the 23rd of January.
Awesome.
And all of the artists that we've interviewed up through December are invited to our January gallery. So this is our formal invitation to you.
Awesome. Well, I'll accept, and I have a couple pieces you haven't seen. I'm picking up. I have 2 sculptures I have to go pick up in New Amsterdam here.
Awesome. We're telling the artists to bring a couple small to medium sized pieces because there's going to be at least 30 artists there. So a couple small to medium sized pieces. And we're asking, it's not required, but we're asking all of the artists to donate a small piece for a raffle. So any of the guests that
that
come,
little one in there would be just perfect.
Oh man, that'd be
beautiful.
Oh, some lucky asshole is gonna get that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, you have that to look forward to. You should come. You should come to 4th Effin' Friday. Colleen's gonna be there. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I just love to see people. I'm friendly, I'm approachable, and for any artists out there too that have questions, like if they see something, if you see something on there and you want to know how the technique was done, send an email.
Actually, with the encaustics, I did have a question.
Yeah, have at it.
Is the wax, is it like a crayon that you're using that you heat up and like?
Some do. I make mine. I take and I mix beeswax and in a certain ratio with Daymar resin. That's tree sap, actually, from the Philippines, I believe. But I mix it with that, and the recipe I use, the ratio I use, varies on the kind of effects I'm going to be doing. Like if I'm going to be doing a lot of nudes, I put in a little extra resin into the ratio because then it floats the pigment more so. But this I use it in little pots. You can buy it in crayons. I personally feel that it is more I prefer the control of doing it myself, because then, like I said, when I want to do it like for different applications, for sculptural applications, I have a couple pieces that if you want to really sculpt, I put in 10% of paraffin wax.
Wow. And
10% paraffin wax turns the medium into a nice solid sculptural material that you can carve and sculpt and retain. It's really tough. So I like that control. So I make all mine.
That's incredible. I mean, your work shows from beginning to end, these are pieces of art. She's making the wax to make these pieces of incredible. I don't even like.
Well, when I do the mosaics, I want it to be when you buy something from me, I believe that there is a certain unwritten contract between collector and artist. Number one, you have contracted with me to get something that is unique for you. You have a unique piece of artwork, so I will never reproduce that artwork. Number two, you have spent your hard-earned money on something that is supposed to last. So quality is important to me, and if I do everything from the ground up, I know you're getting a quality product.
All right. This is the end of our video.
Bye.
This is the Art Life video blog, day 44. Second interview of the day with Colleen Patricia Williams. Visit her website, ColleenPatriciaWilliams.com, and check out her work, buy her work, and you can see her at 4th Effin' Friday on January 23rd.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you there. We love you. Thank you. Bye-bye.